Hello, and welcome to A Night With, the show where we invite members of the TF2 community to discuss the game and the people who play it. Tonight we're on with SpaceGuyOnline, TF2
Yeah.
content creator. Yep, that's him. Button into my intro. It's okay. We love him.
Oh my!
My line was the TF2 content creator who's out of this world.
Oh, bro, I'm glad I interrupted. Good God!
What the hell? That's
Jesus.
It was cute. I was being silly. Yeah. Okay, Space Guy, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
For people who haven't heard of you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a guy in space, and occasionally I am online. It's in the title.
That's what's it like up there?
It's cold.
Yeah.
Not a lot of heat.
Do you have like a spaceship, or are you just floating around?
Floating around up here, man. Internet signal fucking sucks on occasion. That's why.
You're just
painful.
You're just floating around up there in your Corona Australis get up.
Yep.
Dude.
I got 120 hours of American Online for free. It takes forever, man.
So here's a fun fact. Sorry, I'm already way off script. When I started playing TF2, I had watched your channel a bunch, and you made me want to get a Corona Australis and all that entire loadout. And I was rocking that for like I was rocking that for a month, and then I got scammed and it got taken from me, and I stopped playing TF2 for like a year. So
it's painful.
Yeah, but I mean it's all good. So I've been watching you for a long time. What initially made you want to start up your YouTube channel?
Oh boy, are you ready for a real petty answer?
Oh god. Well, okay, tell me.
So I would consider myself relatively new to the YouTube scene. My channel's only like 2 years old, right? When you compare to like other channels of the same kind of size, I think they've been around for like a lot longer, like 5 years on average, right? So 2 years ago, you know what was big on YouTube? Iceberg videos, and I still love them to this day, because just to go into like a deep dive of like obscure topics and stuff and that like interest you, big fan of that, right? So one day, go ahead, stumble across this YouTube video for a video game I like. I'm not sure if you heard of it. It's called TF2, right? I think it stands for something like Titanfall 2, right? But this guy made a Team Fortress 2 Iceberg, and it sucked, and I hated it. And nearly everything was very wrong, even though it was like very surface level stuff. Like, for example, red MVM robots was an example. He's like, these don't exist in the game. You only fight blue ones. And then obviously in the game's files and codes there are unused red robots. Video, terrible. Me though, in such a spiteful and hatred anger that someone would dare disrespect TF2 like that, I made my own video on it, and it did a lot better. It had a lot more correct information. So out of pure spite, I just went ahead and just like, fuck it, I'll do it myself. And I did. And it went pretty well. And then from there, I just kind of coasted, and obviously here I am now with my own kind of channel.
I'm looking through your channel right now trying to find this initial iceberg one.
I have probably hit it because it was terribly edited.
Oh,
like really bad, because that was my first time ever like launching a video editing program. I mean, it was passable, like 50% passable,
yeah.
You know, but passable.
But you okay, so you took it down, that's why we can't see it here.
Yeah.
The oldest video I see is TF2 Lore Scout Series Scattergun Stockpile.
Yeah. That's another one.
Shit, 38,000 views right off the bat. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big number.
Yeah. I feel like I'm in this really weird boat where I kind of blew up too big, and now I've like settled down with like average views, and then I'm like, man, this isn't hitting 1,000K anymore. What's going on? When really that's just like the normal average, and I just got really lucky at the start.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be an interest. Like I can't think of anybody else who's had something like yours, where it's like
I have like the exact opposite growth pattern of literally everybody else on the site.
It's kind of super interesting to look at. Why do you have any idea why that's the case, or is it just?
I mean, like the iceberg video at the time, that was like a big trend, right? So I
Yeah.
get that. That was like the big starting that. And then following that, I just made very generic videos like why people hate. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't like those videos entirely. But people seem to. So I just made that a series, and people love hearing why they're right about hating stuff, I guess. So that's why that blew up. And then from there, it's just been kind of coasting.
Okay. So it looks like then you have your most popular video, which is the versus Saxon Hale tier list. I'm a big fan of that video. I remember watching it a few times back when I was living in Vegas, and
I
super
love
great
the
video.
game mode too. You ever play versus Saxon Hale?
Oh my gosh, I need to find somebody to play it with because I cannot friggin' stand going in there and everybody's just like way better than me, and I'm like,
Have you seen or played the new V script versus Saxon Hale that I'm hoping gets added officially?
no, I have no idea what that is.
Oh my god, it's so much better. I'm good friends with the original creator of it, Lizard Wizard, and he was like, dude, you gotta playtest this. I playtested it. It's a world of improvement. It's phenomenal. Oh my god.
What is it?
Like normal,
what does it change?
So normal versus Saxon Hale is alright, you know what I mean? You kind of essentially it is like one juggernaut heavy, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? He's got a super jump and stuff. It's very campy and very slow, if that makes sense though. Like the best strategies are usually to just shoot from a distance and then when he comes run, which is not very fun. The new V script versus Saxon Hale essentially gives the new Saxon Hale essentially a Smash Bros moveset. Is wild. So he has like an AoE charge he can do to catch up with players. He has the typical like super jump. He has a way down. Then he also has one like a different rage or an alt, which is like an exploding fist. He's got a demo man charge. He's got a lot more stuff, a lot more movement options. It speeds up the game really well.
Mm-hmm.
And the game's a lot more balanced around just being able to do damage, a little bit of damage as all classes, rather than like Trollger running around for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
non-stop.
that sounds pretty interesting. Is there any way to play test some of this stuff, or is it still in?
There's a couple of servers that run it. I forget the name off the top of my head, but there's definitely like 4 or 5 of them. I know DiskFF has a VScript server right now. You can probably look up. Black Wonder might have one. You can look up VScript versus Saxon Hale. There's a couple servers out there.
Okay, I'll definitely have to make
Handful
sure.
of maps too.
Right now. So, okay, let's go into a little bit more of like your TF2 history. How many hours do you have total in the game?
I think I'm coming up on 5K. I think I'm like a quarter remaining to 5K along that line.
What made you start playing TF2?
What year did I start is a good question too. 2014, I believe I started. So go ahead. I have a computer now for the first time ever. Yippee-ki-yay. Was this a free game? That's FPS? That's not Lego Star Wars. Holy smokes. TF2. There was also a little bit of a connection too, because I have the original Half-Life on disc, which came with, I kid you not, TF Classic, Team Fortress Classic as well. It's like a 2-disc combo. So I've played a little bit of Team Fortress Classic, and then I've obviously seen Team Fortress 2 media like on YouTube and stuff, but I didn't really have like an actual internet connection until like 2014. But so when I got that, I went ahead, I was like, yeah, I'm playing it. And then here we are today, years later, where I started to actually kind of branch out and talk more about the game that I grew up playing.
So you started playing TF2 because it was a free game on Steam, and you started a YouTube channel because you hated a video that someone made so much you said, I'm gonna go make
I'll do it myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's like, here's the thing. Anytime somebody's like in the YouTube comments, they say, I disagree, XYZ. And they say, if you hate it so much, go make your own. I did.
You did. You skipped. Did you leave a comment on the first step on the video that you did better?
I left like a long paragraph saying this is wrong, they're so-and-so, this is wrong, so-and-so, yada, yada, yada. And then the creator of it responds saying, if I'm wrong, go make your own. And like I said, I did. I got very passionate about that.
I've done that once before. What was the name of the person who... It was a sniper weapon tier list.
Zesty Jesus.
Gosh, no, it wasn't Zesty Jesus. I'm trying to remember who the heck it was. I can't remember though. But anyways, their tier list was so trash that I was like, what in the world are you talking about? I sent them a comment. Oh, I sent them a DM that was like,
oh boy,
you
that's
and me.
Real serious.
I was like, yeah, we should have a tier list debate. I want to tell you why yours is bad, and I want you to tell me why it's right.
You're wrong.
Okay, they're a deleted user now, so I have no idea what's...
What was give me an example though of like one of the placements.
One of the placements, Girardi was in B tier. Just like, because they called it like this was so long ago. It was like, they were saying that Girardi itself makes you a bad sniper because when you use it, it's brain dead. Like it's.
I mean, like,
he's
I get
right.
the argument.
He's right.
I get the argument. The placement doesn't match up. Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad weapon. That means good. Like,
why would you? Okay, in his defense, that feels to me that you should have put it like either strongly high up there or like really down below. I don't know why it's in the middle of the pack, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. So I brought, and that was one of them. And then also he had the Tribalman's Shiv, and you should never use this tier, which
that's fine enough, I guess. That's...
Whoa.
It's not that good. It's not.
You can 2-hit scouts. You can hit scouts twice. You can hit them once with the thing and shoot them in the body, like just unscoped, and they'll die.
Yeah, you can also just do that with any other melee weapon and not wait for them to bleed out.
Really? Wait, hold on.
Yes. 65 damage melee hit.
65 plus a 50. No, then he has 10 health left. Right? Am I going crazy? Yeah.
It's still a terrible weapon.
Look, if I'm going down, I'm gonna make them bleed, potentially kill them with a Tribalman Shiv, and they'll be angry.
After you die too. It's essentially afterburn, but worse, I find. It's not that good. In the case of like using melees as sniper, really, you're just gonna go, are you using Girardi? If yes, you're using the Bushwhacker. If no, you're just gonna be using stock, essentially. That's what I typically find.
Stock. So what is your opinion on the Shahansha? That's the one that I can't decide my own opinion of.
Literally never used it. I see no use at all for it on sniper, because it's, what is it? You deal less damage at full HP, which is what you always want to be at, right? So it's 50%, right? I don't even remember off the top of my head the damage it does. It probably does something like 74. I'll look it up real quick. But the thing is, right, as a sniper, if you're sitting in the back line and then somebody jumps you, most of the time you'll see it coming, if that makes sense, right? You'll see a scout and then that scout will disappear for 2 minutes and you're like, okay, he's coming for me, right? Yeah. So then you have the advantage to get that first melee hit in typically, and then you're hitting him for less. So then you're just kind of screwed. Let's look up the damage just for this real quick.
So
Shannon TF2.
Plus 25% increase in damage when below half health. Minus 25 decrease in damage when health is above 50%.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing is, if they do sneak up on you, right, then they have the first hit in, and then you're at like 20% HP, we'll say, right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to get that second hit. You're not going to get that melee swing in. You have to react to the guy shooting you. You have to switch to your melee. If he's a scout, he's probably either A, point blank and you're already dead, or B, he's a bit far away and you have to walk up to him. It's terrible. You know,
it is interesting. I don't know why, like, why would you use this over stock?
49 damage it does if your health is above 50.
Yeah, and only 81 if you're under 50. I mean, I guess that's helpful if, like,
against, literally, I think the only time I can see using this is against spies, and against spies, I think you're just better off using Bushwhacker or even the Tribalman Shiv, because spies typically panic when they got a afterburn or bleed on them. If they got DOT on them, they panic typically.
Darn straight. Tribalman Shiv is better than Shahansha, confirmed.
Yeah.
There you go. That's why it's S tier. But you know, you could use this to fight a soldier. Because if you get hit by a rocket below half health, run up to him, hit him with a non-crit, and then his health will probably drop to 0 if you run into his face and get hit by a rocket.
There's way too much stuff involved with that.
Oh yeah, there is. Or
especially
you could hit a crit
soldier.
And land 244 damage.
I can hit a crit with a stock and do 195 right off the gate. And if it's a soldier, he's probably going to be dead from that too because he rocket jumped over.
Probably. This is such a weird weapon. Maybe I should use it once or twice.
I don't think this is a weapon made for sniper at all. I want to be honest. This feels like it would fit more on heavy, if that makes sense. I feel like doing 81 damage at like 25% at 150 HP as heavy, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, sniper doesn't have enough health to be able to play under half health any of the time.
I'd say even like maybe Scout could get some use out of a weapon like this. He has the mobility for it at least.
Plus then you don't... Yeah, and then if you do have it like that, then I would even increase the damage that you do more than 25% because you're playing with such a thin margin that it's like, oh, I'm actually about to die. What is your opinion on? So I didn't expect the conversation to go like this. I play sniper mostly. I'm mostly playing sniper, even though I main Trollger.
Yeah.
Naturally, I should play somebody that's
it's a real duality right there.
Yeah, no
complete
kidding.
opposites.
So, sniper weapons. Tell me. Oh gosh. Sniper weapons.
We're gonna get into the sniper debate here.
Yeah, I just want to pick your brain about some of the weapons here. Tell me about stock or bizarre bargain. Which one do you prefer?
Bizarre bargain typically. It depends on how I'm feeling about that day. If you're a good enough sniper, just use the bizarre bargain like always. If you're not a good enough sniper, just stick with stock. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
I kind of wish there was a bit more of a little divisive line on what to pick, A or B, instead of just being, well, if you're good, pick B. If you're bad, pick A. But that's essentially what it is.
Interesting. That's not typically what I would do, but you're pretty much right. I just like the consistency. For me, it's like it almost screws me up more than it benefits me when it charges faster. It shouldn't probably, but
I would say the inverse for me. If I'm using Bizarre Bargain, I'm at 0 heads. The only issue I really have is like waiting for heavies because I feel like I wait way too long with heavies on that point.
I see what you mean.
Because they typically are capable of running away into cover or something like that before I can get the second shot off. Or they start b-hopping like crazy.
That's true. I should probably use Bizarre Bargain more. I don't think that I've used it like at all.
Well, practice makes perfect. So before we click on, I much prefer how the Bizarre Bargain works now than how it used to before Gunmetal. do you know about the old Bizarre Bargain?
No, I started during right before Jungle Inferno.
Okay, so it had sort of the same gimmick of each headshot you get increases the charge speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the way it worked is if you missed the headshot, if you didn't get the headshot kill, I'm pretty sure you essentially lost the head. So you would fire one to get one is how it would work, if that makes sense. So yeah.
Wait, so if you missed a headshot, then you would go down a head?
You would go down a head, yeah. You would lose a head.
But if you hit the headshot, you'd go up 2.
I think it had to be a kill. If you didn't get a headshot kill, you would lose that head, and you would lose charge rate, essentially.
Oh, that's weird. I don't know why.
So, we're talking about it being like now, like, oh yeah, if you're really good at sniper, use it. Before it was like, yeah, if you're really, really good at sniper, just use it. Like, you're never missing a headshot, use this weapon.
I see.
Because that's just how it was.
So they just kind of made the skill gap less intense. Yeah,
imagine like the airstrike, but every single time like you don't get a kill with it, you lose another rocket. That's kind of how it would work.
Run around with one rocket in your clip. What's your opinion on the Huntsman?
My alarm's going off. Hold on. The Huntsman needs a buff. I swear to God. One of the worst.
Whoa.
Here's the thing.
Uh-oh.
Needs a buff. No, I'm serious.
Uh-oh.
I'm serious. Needs a buff. Explain to me how come every single other sniper rifle has 25 ammo and then the Huntsman has 12 arrows. 13, I guess, one in the clip, but still. It's terrible.
That's what you would want you'd want.
I want ammo. I would, because I don't want to get into like the sniper debate right now, right? We'll talk about it later, obviously. But I do think ammo conservation and management is a big thing that could be improved. But the fact that the mid-range weapon on sniper has less ammo than the long range, which will have no contention getting ammo, has more, does not make sense to me at all. I think it needs 25.
I think that I can understand that. It is interesting how but if you're in the thick of it, you're more likely to pick up ammo boxes, right?
I guess, but like if you're in the back line too, nobody's going to be picking up those ammos, and you probably have like a friendly engineer with a dispenser to also grab. The other thing, and this is like very nitpicky, but I don't care, the visual animation needs to be lined up with how it actually charges. That pisses me off the most, because I'm not paying attention to the charge. I'm paying attention to the visual part.
I absolutely agree there. I think that TF2 has a bunch of stuff to work on when it comes to lining up visuals with whatnot. I love the Huntsman so much. I used to play with it all the time, and then I got into Overwatch a little bit.
Hanzo main.
Yeah, I do main Hanzo, and holy crap, does Hanzo's bow feel so much better than
because it shoots faster.
It shoots faster.
I wouldn't mind like a little bit of a faster firing rate on it too. I don't mind that. Yeah, I would take it. Change, you know what I mean? I don't think it needs it, but I would take it.
A change that I would make to it, I would take the bow hitbox. The bow hitbox itself is huge. Like everybody knows. Like headshots will hit from freaking wherever. So make that hitbox small and make it work.
Nobody's saying. Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So
I cut out a bit. Yeah.
Did you hear what I was saying there?
No.
Okay.
No. I heard Hanzo made, and then that's all I heard, and I was like, "Oh,
I am a Hanzo main. Hanzo's arrows feel so much better." Okay. Now, the changes that I would make to the Huntsman, I'm fine with the ammo, whatever, I don't care. But I would make the arrow hitbox smaller, like, make it, like, how the arrow looks. And I would make it, like, the travel speed faster. Those are the two things that I would change with the Huntsman, then it would feel really nice.
I'm not sure if you heard me when I said it, but I said I wouldn't mind if it just had faster firing rate or reload rate. Yeah. That's like a thing that I would give it to. Just like shoot faster, which is kind of the same thing. The arrow travels faster. I don't think they can fix the hitbox though. That's something that's kind of ingrained with how the Huntsman works. That's why it's called the Luxman. I don't think it's going to work like that ever.
I guess. Man, I just wish TF2 was a functional game at the end of the day.
Well, you know how the Huntsman and arrow works, though, right? You know how they work.
I did watch a Shonik video on it, but I don't remember much after that.
Essentially, because it's a projectile, projectiles use collision boxes, which are the same for each class, right? Mm-hmm. Collision box just essentially tells you where you are in the world, if you're colliding with anything, so and so, right? Compare that to the hit scan hit boxes, right? Hurt box, etc., etc. Get shot in your hand, you're going to take damage in the hand, etc. But the way the Huntsman works, because it's a projectile, it goes ahead, it hits the collision box first, and then the game says whatever hit box is closest to where it landed on the collision box, it will go to that. That's what leads to a little bit of janky arrows, is all that. So if you're playing like a scout who has a very crouched profile compared to the other classes, you aim up, it will hit the top of the collision box, and then the arrow will quickly go down and shoot to his head hitbox, even though it shouldn't have hit his hitbox at all. That's kind of how the Huntsman works.
That's pretty cringe, but I do like it. To an extent.
I don't know how they would fix it though. It's something that's like so ingrained to like how the weapon works. You know what I mean? This isn't like changing a stat. This is just how the weapon functions. I don't know if you could change that.
I think that at the end of the day, the Huntsman is still a very fun side grade, downgrade to use.
I like it. I do like it. I just kind of wish that it didn't suck against Sniper's biggest counter, which was other snipers. Because anytime you see a sniper with a rifle and you have the Huntsman, you lose that fight.
Absolutely. But you know what does worse against other snipers, in my opinion, It's the freaking gun that I like the most on sniper, which is the Sydney Sleeper. The Sydney Sleeper.
Right.
So, what do you mean? The Sydney Sleeper is so cool. You can.
All right.
Okay, one, you pee on people. That's fantastic. I don't see how much better it gets. Two, you can extinguish your teammates, and that's sick. Yeah, half the time it straight up just doesn't work for some reason. I used to think that you had to hit headshots on your teammates to extinguish them because it would only work half the time. But no, it just doesn't work half the time, which sucks.
I made a video on the Sydney Sleeper, and a lot of people were like, "Man, he hates this fucking weapon." I don't hate it. I think it's poorly designed, though. You know what I mean?
Explain yourself.
Okay, so it's a gun on a class that has the potential to one-shot every other character in the game.
Yeah.
Okay? So instead of doing that, what the Sydney Sleeper says is, oh, I can shoot him, and then somebody else can kill him faster, rather than you just killing him. It adds a middleman to that, which I don't like. And then obviously, there's a bunch of like other janky shit with it that I don't really like about it at all. The concept of a support sniper rifle is fine. It's just the execution of it that was terrible. It needs something.
I wish that instead of doing the Girardi, I think it'd be really cool if you could like make somebody see through for a second, or give yourself your team wall hacks for this person for X amount of time.
They had a gun like that in development. And then it never, I think it's called the Viewfinder. You can look this up. It's a cut weapon along with a couple other ones that got released, and I think the gunmetal leak. It was a sniper rifle that did less damage, but when you shot somebody, it had a little outline that you could see through walls, which is really cool.
That's so cool.
It got cut, though, because it had some conflicts with, competitive TF2 outline, because when you're spectating that game, you can see everybody, right? Yeah. Through the outlines. And that kind of conflicted with it, which is a very
dumb reason.
Very poor reasoning. There's a shit ton of cut weapons that are fucking finished that Valve will never see the light of day. It pisses me off. It makes me angry.
Yeah, that's so dumb. What's the one spy weapon that was cut that, or maybe, oh gosh, maybe this was just something that somebody created, but the tranquilizer dart that made their world monochrome or something.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad they got rid of that.
You don't like that?
Well, the tranquilizer gun didn't work like that. The way it worked was that it essentially did practically zero damage. Somebody could fact check this after, but it did very little damage. It fired very slowly, but what it did was it made you stop moving. Essentially, it slowed you down to a halt.
That's dumb.
That's annoying to fight against. It's just a troll weapon.
Yeah,
because all you would do is you would cloak, shoot somebody, and do that. That's annoying.
That's well, I'm personally not a massive fan of stun mechanics. I think that they're good on certain classes, but not like that. But oh my gosh, being able to mess with people's perception,
I do like the idea of monochrome vision. That's a lot more cooler.
Yeah.
There was also a spy knife that was cut that I don't know how it was supposed to work, but I've seen kind of the workshop rendition of it, where you would backstab somebody and it would plant a bomb in them.
Yes.
And then you could detonate the bomb later.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
TF2, you're so close to being perfect. So yeah, okay. But the Sydney Sleeper, another big bonus that it has, in my opinion, that thing lets you get Girardi all the freaking time.
That's such a pointless fucking point. Don't even try to say that's the selling point of the Sydney Sleeper.
That's so cool. That
is a pointless thing to bring up.
What do you mean? If I'm sitting there being a support sniper, that person's covered with piss for a little bit.
If you're sitting there as a support sniper with a gun that you can't headshot with, and somebody shows up on your front doorstep that you can't headshot in quickscope, and you pull out more fucking piss to coat him in, and then you have to run up with him with the bushwhacker, because that's what you're going to be having if you're using those weapons, right?
No.
You're not going to use stock. Why would you use stock then?
No, you use the Travelman's Shiv and get some infected bleed.
Brother, that's worse. That's even worse.
I don't know what you mean. It's so cool to shoot. Okay, I will say.
Hold on. I made this point too. I think the Sydney Sleeper is generally the only weapon in the game that locks you into another weapon, because it's like you only get this bonus from using Girardi.
Yeah.
And I think it's the only weapon in the game to have that.
Yes. I'm pretty sure it is too. I mean, maybe like a Demo Man shield,
I mean,
or
like,
what's the one that
yeah.
like makes it so that you have like no secondary ammo or whatever, or primary, whatever.
Well, that doesn't really that doesn't lock you in. That just like inhibits your primary and secondary. You can use whatever primary and secondary.
That's true. It doesn't lock you into one.
The Alibaba's wee booties or whatever, they have like 25 plus HP if using a shield, but you still have 3 shields to choose from. It's not like you pick this gun, you have to choose the other.
It's definitely different than the Sydney Sleeper. But I don't know. I personally love the Sydney Sleeper. I still don't fucking use it ever because the sniper rifle is so much better, but
My man.
But it's so cool. It's so cool. What is your opinion on the shooting star?
It's just the Machina, but better.
Why is it? What makes it better?
It costs money. It looks better. Sounds cooler.
It does sound
Reduces people to ashes, which looks cooler too.
Some people would say that it costing more money is a detriment, is a downside.
I think the real detriment is if you look at the gun, the laser pointer on it gets blocked up by the radar dish, so the laser wouldn't even work. That's the real detriment.
I think that the Machina in the shoot. We discussed this on a tier list debate that we did once. I think that the tracer dart on the shooting star Machina, I think that it's actually like a really good thing. I think that it's a good tool.
Yeah.
Because you can immediately be like, there is a sniper aiming down this sight line. You better not cross it because you're gonna get shot.
I find it like good, but I also find it as a negative to be very whatever, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I think that's more neutral than it is a detriment.
Yeah, you want to be repositioning as a sniper, even if you're just moving like 10 feet to the right or left. That's still like, you don't know where he's gonna be to a degree. It's a neutral, yeah.
But I'm trying to
make a video. I want to make a video saying like, is the Machina, and I have it kind of in the works, the Machina versus stock kind of, because I see the Machina as this weird thing that's kind of like overrated. A lot of people look at like fully charged body shots and look at the fully charged penetration. They see it like, that's good, that's real good, and they kind of just like blow over the downside of like no hip fire shots and the tracers compared to stock. I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, the body shot. I do miss the body shots, or sorry, the unscoped shots quite a bit, because it's 50 damage you can just plug on someone, or like a sentry or a building or something. But
it's a tad bit of a crutched weapon, if that makes sense. A bit of a crutched weapon.
A little bit, but I personally really enjoy using that one too. What I kind of did it once on stream, but I really want to get a video of like an entire team using the Machina so that you get like just the round starts and a wave of lasers slam into the enemy. I think that would be so cool to see.
32 penetration kills.
Yes. Speaking of lasers, the Hitman's Heatmaker, the MVM
needs a buff.
Needs a buff.
Needs a buff.
Yeah.
Needs a buff.
What would you buff specifically?
In focus, pierces damage resistance.
In focus, pierces damage resistance. Oh.
I don't think that's too overpowered. I think that's fair. It fits the identity of being like an assassin weapon of like precision, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. That
makes it a bit of a damage breaker, like a building breaker too, which snipers like okay at.
Mm-hmm. And that
counters vaccinator.
Yeah. Because we need a way to headshot a vaccinator medic, please. The classic. The classic. I think that didn't you recently enter in a duel with another YouTuber?
With the classic.
How did that go? I did not watch the video, which I'm sorry, Fish, but you won.
I won.
Oh my god.
And then I think it takes me. I'll be honest. I was kind of worried when he said like I've been using nothing but the classic for all my life, and I got worried a little bit because obviously I don't touch this weapon with like a 10-pull stick.
Yep.
It's like 3 days prior to the event, I used nothing but the classic, and then I got into it. And he's like, "I'm actually not that good at sniper." I'm like, "Oh."
What did you think after that time?
It still sucks. I think conceptually it's a fine weapon. I like it a lot more from a design standpoint than the Sydney Sleeper, because it's supposed to be like, if you're a newer player and you struggle with tunnel vision, like staying in scope, here's a gun for you. Now you don't have to worry about spies as much. Now you can see scouts flanking you, etc., etc. But there's way too many like negatives on there that's just like, oh, well, in Team Fortress Classic it was like this, so it has to be like this in Team Fortress 2, which kind of annoys me.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's a very good meme weapon to just drag out and be like, I'm just gonna let go of heads.
I don't even think it needs like a massive buff to be viable. I think it just needs like what the Sydney Sleeper has, like a 25% charge increase. That's fine.
Yeah, I would agree in that. I wish that it was a little bit better, because that would be a fun weapon to use more. Secondaries. Stock SMG. Yeah,
it's
well,
fine.
I figure.
Stock and Gerardo, you've already talked about. Razorback, I don't like it. I find this is like, not even like as like a spy player, like, I should have killed you. You should be dead. I find this weapon just like, there's no point or reason to ever use it. It's a crutch weapon, essentially.
Definitely.
Because if you're not used to looking out behind your soldier, then you're going to get killed by every other class that's not a spy, and he's probably just going to revolver you anyways, right? So you got to play by your... Yeah.
I think
so then you should play by your team, and then if you play by your team, then you're not going to get stabbed anyways, because everyone's going to get spy checked. I don't see when you should use this weapon at all.
I agree. And the overheal penalty is a huge deal, I think.
I know
the fact that all of a sudden you like lose every sniper duel.
Yeah. That's another massive negative. I get why they had it, because like in competitive, or you had like a very good sniper. Well, now you counter spy, this sniper's greatest counter, and then you also count sniper's greater counter, right? And then you're just screwed, right? Exactly. I get it. But
Darwin's,
unless you're going up against like a god tier spy, he's like focusing you constantly, and you're like getting bad luck. There's no reason to use a Razorback, I find.
And if your team is a little incompetent.
Yeah. Darwin's Dangerous Shield is a stupid weapon. I don't know who thought this was it's always been a stupid weapon. I'm gonna be honest, take it out of the game. I hate it.
Whoa.
Don't actually take it out of the game. Just rework it.
Give it to somebody else. Give it to like someone that actually deals with this shit.
Yeah. The fact that Scout has a sun on a stick, which only gives them like partial fire immunity and no afterburn immunity, this doesn't make sense to me at all when Sniper has full.
Yeah, I agree. It's such a weird weapon. I think that in our tier list debate, or our weapon tier list debate, Tony Allen and Nerd Sauce both said that they wanted it taken out of the game too.
Discord's dying here.
Apparently it's a fucked up weapon that shouldn't be here.
Also falls in the case of when should I use it? Because like if you're getting harassed by a pyro with a flare gun, unscope and dodge the flares. Don't just tank them. I don't get it. Good on the Huntsman, I guess. I would give that to this Razorback too. Good on the Huntsman.
It is good on the Huntsman, but I personally can't miss out on SMG when I'm using the Huntsman. That's just too good.
Cozy Camper, best backpack. Not even close to contention. I don't even have much else to say about it.
It's such a good weapon when you want to rely solely on your skill as like an aiming sniper. I think that's perfect. I love being healed all the time.
I kind of forget that it has knockback reduction too, which is a thing.
Oh, what? It does?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
I mainly use it just for no flinching and obviously the health regen. I always forget it has knockback reduction.
I think that makes it a better, well, quote unquote, better fire counter. It makes it a good fire counter as well. So just fully charge, and then all of a sudden you're not dealing with afterburn.
Used to be really overpowered because it used to be no flinching at all. Now it's no flinching when fully charged.
Good change. Very good change. Cleaners.
Oh no.
It's only funny on Huntsman in my opinion. Yeah, Huntsman Bushwhacker cleaners.
Okay. if we're gonna look at this weapon in a vacuum, right, without like, oh yeah, with the bushwhack it's funny, or with the huntsman it's funny, or just using it with your primary it's funny, right?
Yep.
This is a weapon that has 25% less DPS. No, sorry, 25% less DPS. No, it's more than that. Sorry, because it's got clip reduction. I think it's like 35% less DPS, right?
Yeah.
Compared to stock. And then when you have Crikey up, it just has the same amount of DPS as the SMG. So it doesn't do anything right. And it doesn't have no random crits too. So it's not even, it's terrible. It's doing less than that because there's a chance that the stock SMG might get like crits. It just blows out of the water.
In a vacuum, it's absolute trash. There's no reason to use it. But I do think that on the odd occasion that it's like helping out with either the bushwhacker or the huntsman, I think that it's really fun. It's a fun weapon to use because like you kind of never use it. You never worry about filling up a meter with damage with an SMG. So
I still think it's like painful for me to use though. I think wince and cringe when I recall how like slow it fires. That's the thing that really gets me.
I'm just pissed that it doesn't have an Australian variant. Truly.
Actually, that's fair enough.
Melees we've pretty much talked about.
Yeah, we already went over melees. So whatever.
They're fine. Stock seems to be the best one unless you're using Girardi. And Troubleman's Shiv is the only one that chats use. So
I will say I find it hilarious the amount of people who are coming up and saying the bushwhacker is so overpowered when literally all the issues with it stem from like Girardi being way too strong.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because like I don't if Girardi didn't, if it wasn't as powerful as it is, I don't think that anybody would care about the bushwhacker.
No. Well, I don't get why the bushwhack is getting the hate because like like a base movement speed class, right? Has to go ahead, switch to a secondary, right? Hit you with the secondary. Then you have like the biggest warning sign ever to not get into melee range against this class who moves at the same speed as you do typically, right?
Yeah.
And then he has to pull out the melee, which makes him take more damage anyways.
It's so weird. I don't get it.
Like, I don't know. I don't see the argument for the bushwhacker being overpowered. I think I generally do believe it's a lot more balanced than people give it credit for. Girardi is the blame here.
You know,
he's the one at fault.
This is weird. I'm looking through the sniper wiki and, you know, like the crocodile kit, how the effect was removed.
Yeah.
There's still an effect on one of these.
Yeah, reduces the chance of hunger by up to 13%.
Yeah.
That doesn't do anything.
That's kind of cute, though. I think I need to make a loadout based on that.
There's another one that's similar that doesn't do anything. The Sherlock Holmes hat. I forget what it's called for medic. And I think Spy has it too. What's it called?
Sherlock Holmes hat?
It has another thing which is like increases crime solving capabilities up to 48% or something like that.
Oh, I see. Reduces mystery solving time by up to 88%. Yeah. Okay, that's cute. I like it.
And if you have that equipped too, the fire axe has a hidden stat as well. The stock fire axe has a hidden stat.
What?
Yeah. It does 30% more damage to wood.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, TF2 devs. You used to be so funny. Where did you go? Well, okay. That's going to take up all of the TF2 time because I was not expecting to talk about
45.
all of snipers.
Sniper for 44 minutes.
There's plenty of stuff to talk about with sniper. I think that sniper is fascinating, even though he's just point and click adventure type of deal. I think it's really... Oh, the one thing that I would like to touch on, do you think that sniper is overpowered? Do you think he needs to change?
To a degree, yeah. I think the main issue with the sniper nerf debate is that all these people are coming forward right now and they're looking at bots, right, as the issue. And then they're basing all of their arguments on bot behavior instead of player behavior. I will agree that if you have a god sniper, it's not fun for him to just sit in the back on an ammo and then you can't do anything about him. I'll agree with that. I'll agree that sniper could use some more visual indicators that he's there, especially. But some of the changes I really don't like. I don't like reverse fall off because that punishes people who are skilled enough to land quick scopes versus your inability to dodge the quick scoped, right? Because that's an argument to me. That's like, okay, you rounded the corner and a bot was there and you died because of the bot, right?
Yes.
It's like you didn't have to aim, didn't have to react, didn't have to scope in, etc., etc. You died because of the bot. That's not a player versus player interaction. That's a player versus bot interaction, and that's the call for that nerf. And there's a lot of them that are kind of like that. But ammo reduction and a bit more visual indicators of the sniper being there, I'm all for. I wouldn't go too hard or farther than that, though.
I agree. I think that it's a very interesting conversation to have. I personally think that sniper has a couple of things that probably should be changed about the class, but first and foremost, TF, like, before Valve thinks about anything else, in my opinion, they need to be working on bots. Like,
yeah,
I don't think that's an unpopular opinion either.
No,
it's like,
no.
Make your game work, and then people will stop complaining a ton.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so let's
maybe cooler heads will prevail regarding the sniper situation.
Let's talk about your channel now for a little bit. We've got a bit more time. Your YouTube channel is currently sitting at 50,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Tell me about how that feels. What are you feeling looking at a 50K figure?
I'm gonna be honest. It was painful getting there.
Yeah.
Because unironically, up to like the 48K mark, it was like, this is good. Growth here, yada yada. Like, oh, this video didn't do well. Standard stuff. And then I don't know what, I hit this like near on year slump of just not getting growth at all. And I say growth because I don't really care too much about views or like the statistical numbers. I have this like stupid custom system. I upload a video, right? If that video is at 6 hours, then and it's at like 10K views, then I expect it to be at that for like 4 more hours until like, it's always got to be above views to hours to a duration. You know what I mean? Like a ratio.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I view growth. But sitting at like 40, like so close to like a big milestone for a year and a half is like really detrimental because you're just like scrambling to do everything. And I had like a very, very long list of stuff I wanted to do, but I was saving for that milestone to hit. Right? I was like, well, I could push it forward, but then it's not going to be like as eventful. And I'm just glad I hit it finally because now I can go through like this long, long list of stuff that I had that I can actually like do now.
That makes sense. What I'd be super interested in going into the stats on your latest vid.
The zombie riot one.
Yeah,
I think that's.
Because I'm curious, because isn't there a way to see how many subscribers subscribed like on that video?
I haven't checked for the video, but I think it's been around like 500. I got 800 for the month, but that's obviously like when I last checked, which I think was like 2 weeks ago. So take that kind of a bit out of context with a grain of salt.
They'd probably more so be coming from the Smash Fortress tier list, or like natural people coming in.
I'm kind of, that video like blew up. I feel bad for the devs of the game mode. They joined the server. They said we're doing our best that we can. I was not expecting it to. That video was not meant to be like that big. I think it's like 10 minutes at most. I made it mainly just because I'm working on the big project now, which is like almost 11 minutes in length. And I'm surprised it did well. And I feel bad for the devs because they had to do like, from when I released that video to like a day, they had to make like 3 more additional servers for the game mode because everybody wanted to play it.
That's super sick though. That's got to be a really cool feeling to have. But
and then I was hoping I could join the game mode and people like, "Wow, there he is! Oh, you put me on the motive." But I couldn't because they were all full. A lot of people wanted to play it. It's a cool game mode too, really pushing the limits.
I don't think that I've played it yet, but I will get into it at some point here. What is the creative process like for your videos typically? How do you where do you start and what's like the workflow?
Like I said, I have like a list of video topics and ideas that I constantly add to kind of when I see stuff or I think of stuff. So I add that. I go work on the script in my spare time here or there. Sometimes I'll work a day on it, right? Script's written out, do the audio. Go back, look at the script, see if there's any funny things I can add with SFM, like animating, stuff like that. Animate them, and then just get to it with the editing for like 3 weeks because I hate editing. Slam my head on the disc, cry. go to bed, be depressed, edit a bit more, look out the window longingly, cry a bit more, edit more, etc., etc.
Is the editing process the longest?
Yeah.
Process? Naturally, usually is.
I would say like animating's also up there, but like not for the right reasons. It's just rendering times take forever. And that's kind of when I sit down and I edit, I don't know what I'm doing, so I just like I have to like constantly like looking up guides to like how do I do X and Y, and I don't know the technical terms for it, so it might take me a while to do as well. I'm very slow at editing.
Oh, dude, take this from a guy who professionally edits like in a TV studio for clients. I do the same exact goddamn thing every single day. I'm looking up on YouTube, how in the world do I do like this transition or get this color grading working?
But you know the terminology to a degree. I have to do like how to do Star Wars swirl transition, and then it'll be like, oh, the radial blur transition. Like, oh, that's what it's fucking called.
It's I find it super fun. Do you have any people that help you with stuff on your videos?
No.
Or do you do it all by yourself?
I do it all by myself.
You do it all by yourself. So you do the SFM work, you thumbnails, art, all that junk?
Yep. I think I typically enlist the help of a friend here or there, but not often. Fable, longtime friend, current moderator, fucking pain in my ass. If I'm like, oh, I'm busy this week, can you do like just like render some SFM posters for me? They'll typically do that, and that's nice, but I'm gonna be honest, that's not like a lot. That will be like less than 10% of like what I need to be done.
Yeah, no, naturally, but
because I need a photo is what I just said, and then I have to work on like 5-10 second long animations too, right?
Yeah. Well, that's got to be at least a little bit of a help. So the entire process. So let's take your Zombie Riot Showcase video. How long did that take from like the beginning of the edit or the beginning of the writing process to
script to finished product? I think was about a week and a half. Almost a week and a half. Yeah, week and 5 days. Week and 5 days.
Is that working on it like 8 hours a day? Working on it?
I think for that one in particular, I definitely did the script in several days, but then I edited it like fully, essentially in 2 days. Okay. So that was like, so the editing part, I don't normally like do all the editing at once, but because that one was rather short, I sat down and did all the editing for that one. But the script took me a while, and part of that came from the fact that I had to like go back into the game to play the game, right? And then had to quit out the game, and then I had to relaunch SFM because you can't have 2 instances of source open. Then I had to animate the bit that I just written, and then I was like, well, now I gotta fact check this, so I had to close SFM, go back into the game, play the game again, and then do it all over again. And that's why it kind of took so long from there.
I love SFM with all my heart. It's perfect software. I don't know how many more I gotta learn Blender in me, man. I know. I'm halfway thinking about picking up Blender instead, but I don't know yet. So last couple questions that I've got. Tell me about the next video that you've got coming up. Whatever information you can share. It's
competitive head-to-head live-action commentary with Brickiest Brick.
Oh.
But there's a fun gimmick involved, and I don't want to say what the fun gimmick is.
Okay.
But it's a very fun gimmick. Trust me. Please believe me. I beg of you.
I believe you. If it's Brickiest Brick, it's gonna be silly, no matter what.
It's a very popular idea that I've seen on YouTube that I kind of adopted to TF2 as well. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't been done before. I think that's kind of like the best way to start out too. Take what's popular and then like implement it to what interests you. Mm-hmm. And with this, I'm actually like really excited. I've had this like on the floor, like the layout of it for like nearly 2 years now, like November of 2 years ago. And I've just been like sitting on it because I'm like, I don't want to do a live action yet here now. And it's always I'll do it 20K, I'll do it 50K. And now finally I'm doing it, and it's going very slowly because there's a lot of footage and I don't know if I want it to be a long video or not.
Okay, so a Brickiest Brick collab that is extremely silly and funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. I'm excited to see it. Brick showed up on the show at one point, and
Yeah, I saw the one episode you did of Brickiest Brick, where you said the Sandman was the worst weapon, and I gotta agree.
Okay, I can't get into that again. I'll
go shortly because I saw the argument made because you said the gas passer are worse, but I will say the gas passer isn't a negative, right? If you have it equipped, if that makes sense, right? It's just useless. It's not bad. It's just useless, right? And even then, an MVM is very useful, right?
I mean,
Sandman is at a detriment negative because you don't get any benefit out of hitting some of the Sandman ball. You're at a negative 15 HP, while the gas passer doesn't do a negative, it takes up the secondary slot, right? And then an MVM, right? It also sucks. It's not good.
What do you mean it sucks in MVM?
It's bad in MVM.
What?
One thing the Sandman ball does in MVM that's like noteworthy is that you can upgrade the ball to mark targets on death, right?
Yeah.
But guess what already does that you don't need to buy the upgrade for? The Fan of War.
Sure, but you can stay far away and do it. Granted, you shouldn't be far away all the time as Scout, but
you should be up close anyways. So yeah, it's a detriment. It's bad.
I suppose that can be true, but I would say that the gas passer, the fact that it's taking up, Scout primary is not a super important not primary. Scout melee. Yeah, Scout melee is not a super important thing for Scout. It's like you're either going to get a little more mobility, you're going to get bleed on hit, or you're going to get like bleed on far away.
I would agree if it's like any other class. The Scouts and like melees are some of the best in the game because like they're all utility for the most part.
I mean, sure, but you don't need like the utility is good to have, but I don't think that any of them are like what's making Scout great.
Need it, yeah.
Right? But Pyro, your secondary is super important to your game plan. It's more important than Scout's melee is for sure, because that's where your burst damage is. That's where your mid-range or long range, whatever it is. That's a huge part of your kit. And when the gas passer is useless, you're giving up a huge part of your kit for nothing, essentially.
For nothing, yeah. But then for Scout, you're giving up. You have like one of the most fragile classes in the game, and then you made him more fragile for nothing. That's how I look at it. Like, sure, you don't have anything. Like I would say, the gas passer is like more of like a partial negative because you can still make do with just a primary, right?
Yeah.
And the extinguisher, I guess, like for full combat or just like a melee. With Scout though, like you're playing the same game more or less, but you're just weaker.
Yeah. I don't think that you can completely throw out the ball doing some damage. It does some damage, and it does a little bit of an effect on somebody.
10. No, it doesn't.
What? Okay, yeah, you could just scrape out of it. How many people are gonna know that?
If they're brand new at the game, they don't know that they can just hold 2 directional keys to just like get rid of it. Sure, but if they're also a new player, you're probably gonna kill them anyways, regardless of like your stats.
I still don't think that I'm completely convinced, but
I would say it's a close second because like I said, I'm on the point of like it's useless, but then one's useless and a negative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, let's not talk about. Let's get to a different topic. Yeah.
So the last question I have on my list is, to cap it off, do you have any big plans for your channel itself in the future? Having just hit 50K, I have to imagine there's a little bit of fun stuff in store.
I'm gonna make a TF2 server sometime in the future. That's big. I'm gonna do variety content because I do feel like I have, not to like gloat or brag, but SFM, despite all its quirks and shit it gives me, very good skill set to have in YouTube, if that makes sense. Because being able to animate stuff in topics that do not typically have a lot of animation or like style of video that TF2 has, that's a whole untapped potential right there.
Absolutely.
And I'm like half working on, as I edit this video, when I'm not editing it, I'm working on the script for this variety content video for Pokemon.
That's interesting. So you heard it here first. SpaceGuyOnline is about to start making some titillating content.
Yeah.
That's
I'm not gonna do like the full switch over, but I got really pressed about Pokemon because like I'm gonna be honest, my number one motivator for videos is spite and hatred, and I got really pressed playing Showdown. I'm like, I'm making a fucking video about this.
Oh no. SpaceGuyOnline's gonna start making salty Showdown content. I make fun of it, but holy crap, do I love Salty Showdown.
I'm not doing that though, but yes, this is going to be more about the video currently is more along the lines of like the Sydney Sleeper like weapon design videos, where it just looks at the aspect of the game, and this part of the game sucks, it could be better. It's not like, man, look at this stupid kid with 9 Arceuses. Who the fuck does he think he is? Lamau. It's not that. It's actually like an in-depth topic about the game.
Okay. I'm excited. I'm very excited to watch. I love Pokemon Showdown content. Mm-hmm. So that's all the questions that I had. We're hitting an hour and 3 minutes.
Oh boy.
I always end it off to the guest. Do you have any questions that you want to ask me?
Who are you planning to have on the show next?
I actually don't have somebody lined up quite yet. I'm always looking for references or ideas. I think so. Let me look at my list. I can cross you off. I've had you on there for a while. There we go. Looks like some of the next ones that oh man. I still have Venusian Rapper on here.
You might want to get rid of that one.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to land that podcast.
I don't think you want to have that podcast.
Oh man.
You know, like the stuff he got into rather.
Oh yeah, I know all about it.
You were all right.
It's to be fair, it'd be pretty hard hitting podcast, I think, but probably not worth it. I don't really know. I've got like the What Show on here.
Yeah. Probably got all of them.
JPEG, Spiky Mikey, Wheezy, Lazy Purple. Oh, what a fun goddamn podcast that'd be. I am so curious as to what goes through Lazy Purple's brain when making those animations.
It's the same thing as everybody else. They do 2 things at SFM and like break down and cry.
Yeah, no kidding. So yeah, I've got plenty of people on there next, and I'll always take recommendations because I need those to be bigger.
You should do Official LaFish, I guess. Like, he's small enough, he could make the time. You can both benefit from that, right?
Official LaFish?
Yeah, the classic duel guy we were talking about earlier.
Give me 1 second.
It'd be interesting to have, because I want to see the thought process of why on earth he's deciding to do this. What he's, no offense to him, not super good at sniper.
So you guys heard it here first. I just got recommended to speak to LaFish, even though I talked to LaFish 2 months ago on this show.
Oh, heaven forbid! I thought it was fish stick on a stick. Okay, calm down. I see. There's too many fish people.
What? Fish tank, fish stick on a stick, LaFish.
Yeah, there's too many freaking fishes in this ocean, man. There's always a bigger fish.
It's true. There are always bigger fish. But no, he was super cool too. I don't think that we have not done a classic duel yet, but maybe that's gonna happen someday.
Do you have what's his name? I just saw him and I'm blanking on it. Where is he? He's a cool guy. He's from Ireland. I'm blanking on the name. Where is he at?
Ireland.
This is awkward now. I'm blanking on it. Oh my god, Sam. I'm generally blanking on his name. I'm trying to find it right now. Not Sam Wiz. Oh my god, this is gonna bug me. This is gonna bug me a lot. Holy hell.
Who the hell are you talking about?
I'm trying to remember. Not Sam G. It was Sam.
Sam.
Yeah. Sam G.
Oh, Sam G. I don't think that he's on my list right now.
There you go.
All right, I'll add him. Sam.
I said Sam, and I was like, no, not Sam. It was Sam. There you go. It's not Sam is the issue. That's what threw me off.
I've definitely gotten some really cool. Everybody that I've talked to in the show is interesting. Rocket Man Fran, Hint Shot, freaking El Maxo.
Bring
Really-
up the allegations.
What?
Don't
Talking
worry
about the allegations with El Maxo.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, the show's going places. I'm gonna keep finding cool people to talk to because I have a ton of fun learning about the creative process and also just shooting shit about TF2. So that's all that I've got, and that's pretty much all the time that we've got. You wanna plug some socials to
I don't got any.
more people watching?
I got
What?
nothing. I don't have a Twitter account. I only got my YouTube channel, man. That's all I have.
You got the YouTube channel. Do you not have a Discord?
I do have a Discord, but like, fuck, join, I guess, if you want. I don't care.
I'll find that link. And then you do have a
Small enough.
Twitch too. It looks like.
Oh, I don't use that. I think I used Twitch once, and I was like, you guys want to watch this Fat Albert episode where Fat Albert shoots a kid or something like that?
Out of spite.
That's
I'm
the
gonna
only
follow.
thing. It was hilarious, though. Oh my god, no! I'm gonna show it to you after this. It's
Yes, please
amazing. It's peak cinema. Fat Albert.
Just out of spite, I decided to follow you on Twitch.
Oh brother. Yeah, it's just a YouTube channel mainly.
All right. Well, we'll make sure to plug it.
Yep.
Also, SpaceGuyOnline has a Patreon, which you should join if you're listening to this right now.
Yeah, if you want to. Like, that's another thing. I do art. I shoot my
you do?
brains out doing SFM. Yeah.
Yeah. Screw. $19.50 a month. Why? Why $19.50?
Because I'm not an American citizen, so I get taxed.
Oh, where are you from?
Yeah, that's a good space. That's the title.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What is?
Pes-
Okay.
No.
I was gonna ask what the
Nationality,
conversion
like,
rate
actually.
is. But, no, that's. Oh shit! I need a.
People always go. They think I'm American, and I say I'm not, and then they just like they're like, oh, Australia. I'm like, no,
No, not
from
Australia.
Britain, no. And
I
I'm gonna be
definitely.
honest,
I just hear
Yeah.
Canada. I don't.
yeah, yeah. I don't know
But-
why they go ahead. They're like, well, he's not from North America. There's only America in North America. It kind of annoys me.
It's. I only have the insider knowledge because I'm from Minnesota, and
Yeah.
so I've got the finger on
accent.
the accent.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, hell yeah, that's pretty much all the time we've got. There's SpaceGuyOnline. He's in space and he's sometimes
guy.
online. Go watch his shit. It's all really really good. Like I said, I've been watching him since the very beginning, so you need to watch the guy.
I'm kind of surprised you went like an hour and 10 minutes without saying more like Earth Guy Offline.
More like Earth Guy Offline? No, I'm funnier than that. Come on,
no.
I don't need that garbage. Also, my favorite series is why X is
People.
hated.
Oh,
So,
brother. I
please-
should bring that back.
Please do bring that back and invite me to help with animation or something. That'd be fun.
Do you want a class one or you want a map one? I'll tell you, or do you want a weapon one? You get the
Oh,
free options. I'll
shit,
let you
that's
choose
tough.
right now.
Oh man,
I think I have a map one like written down on my list, but I'm willing to do.
I think
If you say class, I'm just gonna do why people love the class. I'm not gonna do like I don't think I could like dig.
I'm interested to see the hate one. I'm trying to think of a weapon that people hate really bad that you haven't done yet.
Let it flow through you.
Oh, gosh, hold on, give me just a second. Why people? Let me look at the playlist. Spy,
got all
Sniper,
the
Decibel,
classes.
Demo, Engineer. Oh,
I've got all of them there.
oh, no weapons yet.
I think I've tacked on the weapons, but they're not like very, very in depth about the weapons.
Okay. What's a weapon that people hate the most?
Really want to do a weapon.
The
It could have been a
squirt
map
shot?
too.
The squirt shot feels really easy though.
I think I
Right?
did the short shot. I mean, the pyro one is okay. For talking about the series, I'm not like I said earlier, I'm not a huge fan of it because it's mainly just me repeating popular opinion. But I
Yeah.
will say, I wholeheartedly stand by the heavy one, 100%. The rest of them, I'm kind of like give or take.
You stand by the heavy one in
like-
terms of why people hate heavy.
Yeah, like fully. Like I agree with that like 100%.
I see.
The medic one as well to a degree. The soldier one a bit to agree. The scout one a bit to agree. The ones that have good thumbnails, I agree with a lot more than the ones that have very bad thumbnails. Essentially, yeah.
Okay, well, in that case, I maybe do a map. In the map, I mean, shit. People hate a lot of stuff in this game. But what about like Swiftwater? There's a lot of people that really dislike Swiftwater.
Actually, yeah, you know what? I would be interested too because I don't know why.
Because it's Sniper Spy Paradise, and people don't like fighting either of those guys.
I guess figure out why. I'll do a deep dive think about it. I guess sure. I don't know why. That's actually a very good question because it doesn't jump out at me as a map that people would hate. But
people
dislike.
definitely do, right?
I would say there's a larger like minority about it, like a lot of vocal minority about it.
Yeah,
because you're absolutely right there. Because it's one that doesn't come to mind too. I usually think like Dust Bowl or claustrophobic maps, right?
To me, what I can tell is people really hate it. People really hate Swiftwater, but they're like, fine, I'll play on it. But God, this map sucks. Like, this is just the sniper map or whatever. It's like kind of a little bit.
Dust Bowl, Hoodoo. Oh, I want to do a video on Hoodoo. I hate that map.
Hoodoo's
sucks.
Interesting. I've only played on it a few times, and every time has been like different. From like I've had a really good time one time, and another time it was like I want to leave.
Payload underscore Dust Bowl is essentially what it is. I think the worst part about Hoodoo, unironically, isn't even the map design. It's the fact that there's just like base ass Half-Life 2 door textures everywhere, and it just annoys me. It's really goofy. I think that would be a fun one to see. And if you ever need any help with it, let me know. I'd love to throw my hat into that ring. Swiftwater.
Why do people hate Swiftwater? Why is Swiftwater hated? I don't know. Video. Make it a YouTube short. Make it a YouTube short and be, why is Swiftwater hated? The end.
59 seconds of like people hate this map and just like using like the most verbose language ever, like to vilify it, and then just go like,
What do you think? Comment.
Why'd you ask me?
And then make sure that it loops too.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why this map is.
That's why this map, or that's why. Yeah. Swiftwater is the most hated map in TF2. God, I hate it. Okay, that's the end of this recording. My computer's gonna run out of space eventually. Thank you very much, Mr. Space, for coming on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Been fun being here.
And to you, you, the one listening. If you've made it this far, that's crazy because according to stats, nobody listens this long. But if you want to hear somebody that you're interested in on the show, let me know and let them know too. And I will get in contact with them and we'll make it work out because I love talking to people about this game from 2007. Thank you very much for coming in and watching. And we'll see you next time on A Night With.
Bye.